Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here today. So, today's topic, I think, is a really good one, but also a really underrated topic because there's one thing I know equestrians, we get so obsessed with like our position and like our skills as a rider that we often ignore this really important one, which is our mindset. Yeah. So in today's live stream class, I really wanted to go over how a mindset shift can change your riding because it actually changed my show jumping career forever. It's almost as if my life was going this way. And then I kind of tapped into this like mindset training that I was doing. And my life completely pivoted and it went off in like a totally different direction for the better. Yeah, for the better. So I really wanted to go over that and share kind of some of my own personal stories with it, but also some really valuable tips that you can use that I've kind of learned along the way and also the hard way. So yeah, make sure you have a pen and paper. I want you guys taking notes. Okay, comment right now, pen and paper. Okay, because I want you guys taking notes. So comment, comment, comment. Remember, you got to participate. Okay, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you don't participate now, you're not going to participate later with your horse riding either. Okay. So, how a mindset shift changed my show jumping career forever. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. Um, I want to give a quick backstory. Okay, I'm not going to go like super in depth over this. I know my VIPs and those are my riding master coaching programs. Like you guys have heard a lot of my personal stories. I think that stories are so valuable in the coaching that I do because we often forget facts, but our brains tend to remember stories. Yeah, I remember stories that were told to me when I was like 5. Okay, I remember stories. Okay, but I don't remember, what year was some weird history date that I don't remember. Okay, don't remember. Yeah. So we remember stories. Okay, comment stories because that's something really important and powerful, you guys, to remember. Um, Personal story of mine. So when I was in my 20s, when I was 21, I left the USA. I was on a plane for Belgium to work at an Olympic uh, stables. And since then, I only pursued really high level show jumping yards. So I only worked with, high level Grand Prix show jumping horses. I've never really worked at let's say, normal stables. Okay. I was always actively pursuing competitive yards. Okay. Competitive horses, jumping big jumps. That's what I've always pursued and always really wanted to do with my life. And I was stuck on this belief that the only thing that I needed was more skills. Okay, as a rider, as an equestrian, I was born with a little bit of talent, so I had some natural talent that was in my favor. I had long legs, smaller torso, so I wrap around horses really nice. So I was like kind of naturally having some talent. Of course, I went to equestrian colleges before I left to the USA. Before I left the USA for Europe to compete with these show jumping horses internationally. So I was already qualified and trained in a whole number of things. And so I was having the credentials, I was having the skills, I was having some talent, I was having a bunch of opportunities. Obviously, when I went to Europe, I was being given horses. I've even ridden Olympic horses. So I had all of these things, but I was focusing 100% on the physical. The physical, the physical, the physical. I was hardcore. I was like, taking as many horses as I could get. Like, I just need to ride as many horses as I can. Like, when I was, going crazy, like when I was possessed with my obsession over my own show jumping goals, I was riding like 8 horses a day. Yeah, 8 show jumping horses. If you're jumping 8 horse, like you get tired quick. It's a hard physical sport. So that's 8 hours of jumping a day. And some of them were green horses, but most of them were high level horses. So, I was riding from 5 to 8 horse every day, and I was not saying no to any horse. I was just taking any horse I could ride because I was focusing on the physical. The physical, the physical, the physical, my position, my balance, the horse, this, that, like everything that I was planning for was physical, even off of the horse. I would take a bus into the town when I was working in Romania. I would take a bus to the city in Bucharest because we were outside of the city. Big, beautiful, gorgeous show jumping yard, cost 10 million euros to build this place. Gorgeous show jumping competition tables in Romania, if you didn't know it. That's where I was working. I would take a bus every day to go to the gym. And I would go and I would work out also like a woman possessed. I was just exercising and, making myself just a physical, like pristine equestrian body. I was eating healthy. I was just so obsessed with the physical. The physical, the physical, the physical. Who here maybe is already in that boat. That you guys have obsessed over working out, eating healthy, getting more balance. Maybe you're doing yoga. Maybe you're riding 5 horses a day. Maybe you're riding every day, 6 days a week. Okay, you're so obsessed on the physical that some of you, because this was me, maybe have forgotten the mental. Okay, and that was me. And what happened was in my mid-20s, let's say I had a mental breakdown. I wouldn't call it a breakdown, but mentally I was burnout. Okay, I was burnout. I was exhausted from this lifetime of just pursuing my goal, and my physical battery ran on empty, and I just couldn't go anymore, and I needed a complete shift. Okay, and that's where I booked a one-way flight to Indonesia and Bali. I spent 6 months there. I got my yoga teacher certification. I also heavily studied meditation. And, I was going to an ashram twice a day, every day. I was doing a whole lot of stuff. Part of it was sparked from, I had lived and worked in India with also show jumping horses for 2 years. So, so I had done some knowledge and stuff about meditation and all that stuff in India. But when I was in Bali, I was just kind of like hardcore thinking about my mental. So I went from physical to complete 180 pivot. And in Bali is where I really learned to tap into the mental. Yeah. I started doing a whole lot of other different things. I tried trying a whole lot of different stuff. It's not just, meditating. It's not like just sitting and not thinking for an hour. There's a whole realm of mindset training and techniques that you have to explore and do on top of the physical. So just as much as energy as I had spent into learning the physical stuff, I then shifted it into learning the mental stuff too. Yeah, so I went hardcore into learning the mental stuff because I became obsessed with figuring out, why do I think this way? Why am I having, these type of thought patterns? How do I fix it? How would I help somebody else fix their thought patterns? How would I recognize somebody else's thought patterns? Like, no one ever shares their real thoughts, right? So how do you do that? So I was really obsessed with now the mental. And that happened when I was, I think, 25. I think I celebrated my 25th birthday or 26th birthday in Bali. I don't remember exactly, you guys. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened for me. So comment right now, okay, if you guys have been just doing the physical or mostly the physical. If you're doing like, all physical and only like 1% mental, the ratio's off. Okay, so I want you guys to comment right now. If you're only doing physical, I want you to say guilty. Okay, because I was guilty of that. Okay, I want you to comment right now, guilty. Okay, guilty. Being aware is step 1. Okay, so make sure you do comment. Okay, make sure. Because I had no clue that this was an issue. I was like, I don't need that mental stuff. Yeah, I'm healthy. I'm healthy. What do I need this hippie mumbo jumbo whatever for? Okay, I grew up in California. So for me, it was like hippie stuff, meditation and yoga and blah. What does that have to do with horse riding? Okay. And then I learned. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips, which I learned and which I found valuable. Obviously, what I'm about to share with you guys today, these are surface. This is the surface. Okay, this is the tip of the iceberg. Remember, icebergs, you only see the top 10%. 90% is under the surface. So I'm going to give you guys, let's say, the PowerPoint presentation, okay, the bullet points. Okay, but each of these need to be explored further. Okay, and that's what I do with my clients in the Riding Masters Academy. We deep dive. I have, I think, 13 mindset modules for my Riding Masters Academy clients for this reason. Okay, because I have like things that I need you to deep dive in order to overcome and in order to achieve these things. Okay, so you can't just focus on the physical. If you're a good equestrian coach, which I know I am, okay, you have to do both. And that's why I kind of require for our students to do both physical, but I also want to make sure you're mentally strong. Okay, not all of the 13 modules are gonna be the one that changes your life, but you never know until you do it. You're gonna do that one exercise, and you're gonna know it when it happens, because it happened to me when I was in India. Actually, this was the first time I ever truly tapped into some of this mindset techniques and training. And the first time it happened, I remember I got emotional. I got emotional because I realized, oh my God, it was almost like there was a hole in my body. And it was like I didn't know that there was a hole until somebody shined a light on it. And it was like, once you see the light, once the light is shining on that hole, you can't unsee it. Yeah. So it was just, I got really emotional because I realized, oh my God, all this time I thought I had been working on myself so much that there was nothing else to work on. And here was this big light shining from me. And I realized I still had more work to do. Yeah. And it was an emotional moment for me. So I'm going to share the tip of the iceberg for you guys, but that does not mean that you need to just write down this and then ignore it. I need you guys to go deep into each of these topics. We don't have time today. Okay. But I need you to go like deep, not the surface, like go under. Okay. Get that extra 90%. So a mindset shift, it profounded my show jumping career hugely. As I said, my career made like a complete 180. Yeah, it's like I was going this direction, and then boop, suddenly it went that direction for better. Yeah, so it changed my career. Hopefully it's going to do that for you guys too. One of the tips, and this is number one. Okay, I want you guys to write this down. You need to recognize your limiting beliefs. Okay, recognize your limiting beliefs. And some of you guys, you might be thinking like, oh, I don't have any. Like, nothing stops me. That was me. I genuinely believe that. But we need to find them. You got to dig deep. Again, don't just, not that iceberg. Okay, if I ask you, how are you? And you say, fine, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm your coach. I need to know, how are you? Because guess what? Your horse is going to know. Horses know everything. They know how you really are. They know what's beneath the surface. Okay, so we need to recognize what our limiting beliefs are. If you don't know what they are, you got to dig deep. Okay, for some of you, it might be beliefs that you've held on to. For example, I'm not good enough. Okay? Or I always make mistakes, or I always mess up the distances, or I always blah, blah, blah. I always look down at my horse. I'll never be as successful as someone else. Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I'm not old enough. Okay, these could be your limiting beliefs. It could be a number of things. Maybe you have 20 limiting beliefs. Okay, we need to recognize what our limiting beliefs are, because these limiting beliefs, whether you realize it or not, they are creating self-doubt. They are hindering your performance, whether you believe it or not. Believe me, it always comes up. Yeah, in your riding, always. These limiting beliefs, it always comes. That's why I say with my clients, like, horse riding is like 90% therapy and like 10% actual riding. Okay, because stuff happens. I had a young woman here the other day. Her father, she's getting into the show jumping, and she wants to come compete in Spain with me possibly. So she was coming for kind of a trial ride, let's say, on one of my show jumping mares, Saphira, and she started to cry. Not because anything was going bad. She was actually doing really, really well. She started jumping. Saphira was doing really well. And then all of a sudden, she started to cry. And I had to stop, and I had to ask her, what emotions are coming up for you right now? And I didn't know this, but she's had recently a medical thing that was diagnosed. So, obviously I didn't deep dive into the full story. I'm not going to share that everything with you guys. It's not my story to share. Okay. But if you have these limiting beliefs or doubts or, fears or emotions or whatever it is, horse riding has this really funny way of bringing it up to the surface. Okay. So we have to recognize what those limiting beliefs are. And then not just that, we then have to challenge those limiting beliefs, and we have to reframe them. Okay. So part one is recognize those limiting beliefs. Part two is challenge and then reframe those limiting beliefs. Okay. I want you guys to comment right now. Comment reframe. Okay. Reframe. That's a really big one for you guys. Okay. It's not enough to just recognize that you have doubts or you have fears or you're anxious or you have worries or whatever it is. It's not enough. We have to be able to reframe those beliefs. And that's the key word, and that's what I want you to comment right now. Okay, once you're aware of your limiting beliefs, we then can challenge their validity. Okay, we can then challenge it, and we can replace it with more empowering beliefs. Okay, positive beliefs. So instead of, oh, I'll never be good enough, every day I'm getting better. Every day I'm getting one step closer to my goal. Okay, I'm improving every time I ride. Yeah, and if you aren't improving every time you ride, your coach is doing a bad job. Okay, that's why I have my program, my coaching program, the way that I do. My Riding Masters Academy, every time you ride, you're improving. Okay, so if you're doing my Riding Masters Academy, it's a true statement. It's not untrue. Okay, so you can say, make that your mantra. I'm improving every time I ride. Maybe I'm not at my goal yet, but I'm getting there. Every day I'm getting there. I'm getting one step closer. Okay, so start challenging those limiting beliefs and replacing them with positive and empowering beliefs. Okay, if you're one of those people that you're like, oh man, I always mess this up, I always make mistakes, start telling yourself, mistakes are learning opportunities. Okay, mistakes make me grow. Yeah, it's not a failure as long as I learn from it. Yeah, so start challenging and reprogramming and reframing those limiting beliefs. Okay, so that was number 2. Who here likes number 2? Yeah, who here likes number 2? I want you guys to comment. Raise your little virtual hands, okay? Raise them hands. Okay, number 3. You ready for this one? We have to embrace a growth mindset. Okay, a growth mindset is that ability to allow you to constantly learn and improve. Okay, we have to accept that horse riding, like, we're never going to reach a stage in our horse riding where we're like, I'm done. Okay, I don't need to learn anymore. Okay, if that's you, you're making a big mistake. Okay, you need to embrace a growth mindset. You will never, if you do it right, you will never be done growing and learning. Because horses, guess what? You might have mastered something on one horse, you meet another horse, and that horse is completely different. It has a different personality, a different way of thinking, a different history, a different past. And suddenly everything you thought you knew doesn't make any sense anymore. Okay? Horse riding is constantly making you adapt, adjust, pivot, and grow. And if you've closed off your mind and your brain and you've been telling yourself, like, I'm done learning, I don't need to learn anymore. Oh, I already know that. Oh, I've already heard of that before. Okay, you're not serving you and you're not serving your horse that way. Okay, we need to have a growth mindset. We have to be open to learning, adapting, trying new things. Okay, we should constantly be trying new things. We should constantly be learning and improving ourselves. I have some people, obviously my coaching programs, they're virtual. Okay, I have a lot of virtual clients. Some of them, they still continue to ride once a week with their in-person coach. Okay, but they have that growth mindset. They understand how complementary it is. The majority of my clients, they train with me because they don't have coaches. But I have a number of clients that they still continue their in-person lesson once a week, or they go to their clinic once a month or whatever it is, but they continue to train with me because they see how complementary it is, and that together they're going to get there much faster than them just floating around on their own accomplishing nothing. Okay, so embrace that growth mindset. Okay, be open to learning new things, to trying new things. Okay, understand that you'll never be done and that horses have a funny way of keeping us humble. Okay, of keeping us humble because there's always something to learn. Okay, I have so many things that I want to talk about, but we just don't have enough time for you guys. Okay, I want you guys to comment right now. One more. Comment one more. Okay, I feel like that's all I have time for. So many that I want to go over today. Okay, I'm going to pick a good one. This is a good one. We need to emphasize process over outcomes. Let me explain that one a little bit. Some of us are really goal oriented. Okay, I'm super goal oriented. I can tell you since I was probably 2 that I was going to work internationally with show jumping courses. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know it was a job. I never met one. I had seen people show jumping on TV and I thought, I'm going to do that. Okay, I would go to school. They'd make you fill out those like job questionnaires, like when you grow up, you'll be a doctor or a lawyer. There was no show jumping box. Okay, there was no show jumping box for me to tick that said someday I'm going to grow up and be a show jumper. When I would ask people about college, they didn't know show jumping was the thing. They're like, oh, maybe you should study being a vet. And I was like, I don't want to be a vet. I want to be a show jumper. There was no show jumping box. Okay, it's very easy for goal-oriented people like me to obsess over our goals. Okay, we think about the outcome. Okay, we think about someday I'm going to be a show jumper. Someday I'm going to jump this big. Someday that. Someday, whatever. But what we forget to do is to emphasize the process over the outcome. And by that, what I mean is we need to shift our focus on not just our goal, okay? We need to shift our focus to what's the process that's going to take me to my goal. And for a lot of you guys, it's as easy as improving your riding skills, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've seen people trapped at that certain height, can't jump bigger than that, and it's because they didn't take the time to get the fundamentals in their riding, and those beginner mistakes that they're making that they shouldn't be making when the jumps get bigger, it's stopping them from progressing and moving up. Okay, so we need to shift your focus. Yes, it's not just our goal, our big goal. Okay, having goals is important, but we also need to shift our focus to improving our skills and performance. Okay, we need to concentrate all of our energy on having a process, having a training plan, having a structure, having a system that's going to get us there. Okay, just kind of going around telling people someday I'm going to jump Grand Prix doesn't actually help you accomplish your goal. Okay, or it doesn't if you don't do anything about it. Okay, if you're just talking about it, but you don't have a system, you don't have a process, you don't have training plans mapped out, okay, you're not going to get there. Because guess how many people on this planet walk around having goals and dreams that they never accomplish? I think it's like over 80% of people on this planet will never achieve their dreams. 80% is a lot. The odds are not in your favor. Okay, but I've been one of the few that have consistently achieved every goal I've ever written down. I didn't just achieve one goal one time. I've done it again and again and again and again. I have a system for how you achieve writing goals. I have it all mapped out. That's why we have a curriculum. Again, our Writing Masters Academy. If you haven't already jumped on a call with us and sent in your application to apply for our Writing Masters Academy, like what are you waiting for? Okay, we have that system. We have the processes. Okay, I literally have that magic wand. All you have to do is get the magic wand, okay? Get the magic wand. Boom. Anything is possible. Okay, but a lot of you guys are resisting the magic wand. You're trying to DIY it. You're trying to read books. You're trying to, like, whatever it is. I don't know what your plan is. But obviously your plan is not working, because if it was, you would have had your goals already. Okay? Align yourself with that person that has the plan that can take you there. And then watch the little magic wand, like, do its magic. Yeah? Okay, that's all the time I have for, because otherwise I'm just going to go on and on and on, because there's so many things that I want to share with you guys. If you guys have found this valuable, okay, if you found this valuable, I want you to comment right now. If that's you and you're ready and you're like, you know what, I want that magic wand. I want to do the Writing Academy. I want to get one-on-one coaching feedback from you, Crystal. I want to be in your inner circle or whatever it is. Okay, I want you guys to comment right now, Writing Master. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the link so you can fill out your application. Everyone who fills out the application, if you send me your writing video, only the people who are qualified, you know, I'm going to go over your writing videos, but I need to see a video of you writing so I can fully diagnose what your training plan is going to be. Okay, it's not a copy paste, one size fits all. I'm going to need your application. I'm going to need your writing video. So I want you guys to comment writing master, and I will reach out to you and give you the link so you can fill out your application. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you guys next week, and I hope that you enjoyed today's class. Comment down below, writing masters, and I can't wait to see you guys' writing videos. Thank you so much, and bye everyone. Bye.